Hi, it's Kristen from Pratt Scraps. So I decided to follow one of Victoria Marie's scrap challenges for the International Scrapbooking Day. And so I pulled this. I've had this picture sitting on my desk for a while of the girls jumping in the leaves, and I used the pebbles. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Pebbles. I got it from Paper Issues this fall, and it is called The Midnight Haunting. So I think technically they're supposed to be like Halloween papers, but there are a lot of fall stuff too. So that's what I did with it. And I showed you a picture of the sketch that I from her blog, and I just flipped it on its side. So that's how I did it with it. I got my sketch wet. I spilled while I was getting ready. I forgot I had a little jar of water for watercolor paints on my desk, and I hit it and spilled it right on the sketch that I printed off. So I was going to do this on a white piece of paper because that's kind of what the sketch looked like, but that's not really a true white in the background. So I just wasn't happy with the look of that. So right now I'm to the right of my workspace, and I'm looking through my files of papers and trying to find some off-white options. Pulled this one out, and that is from a Stampin' Up! Collection. I didn't like that. So then I pulled my craft file out, and these I believe are from the Basil. They're the dot line, where they have the little tiny dot, like embossed dots all over. So I thought that matched the color of the ground, the leaves on the ground, fairly well. So that's what I went with. And then while I was getting ready to frame this, I was looking at the B side, or the other side of the papers, and just change the orientation a little bit. Normally the thicker border would, if I would have truly just tipped the sketch on its side, the thicker border would have been on the top. But I ended up doing the thicker border on the bottom because that's where I ended up putting my title, because I flipped it. I thought the title looked better there too. And I just recently got a T-square, so I thought, oh, I'll be super precise and use my T-square. Yeah, I'm apparently not super precise person, but I used it. I think I pull it out again later when I do my title to use it again. So there's my wet. Consulting my sketch again. There were two circles in each cluster, and then in the sketch there was a star. And I did not use a star, as you'll see. So I really liked that leaf paper, but it was just a little too much. So I ended up, because the girls are all wearing different colors, I muted the color in the picture a little bit, but it's still, their colors and their clothes were so clashy, if that's a word, with orange, that, especially that hot pink sweatshirt, that I just didn't use that many leaves. Because the orange is a little bit brighter in the one leaf on there. That's my husband's old tackle box. Got some, I knew I had some wood veneer leaves in there, so going through my leaf section of the box, and I found these little leaves that already have like the veins of the leaf etched into the wood, so I decided to use those. And then I found that little word favorite that I've had forever, so I decided to try to work that in to the layout. So I do not honestly use sketches very often, but holy mackerel, this was really quick. It was nice to have it already thought out for me. I mean, literally all I did was look at the picture that the sketch that Victoria made, and I just flipped it and made it work for the orientation of my picture, and it was super nice. So I may have to start doing this more often. I usually just sketch out my own sketch before not always, but sometimes. So it was kind of nice that somebody already did the work for me, especially when I only had a couple minutes to be in my scrapbook room as it was. 'Tis the season of soccer, gymnastics, softball. So, and none of my children drive yet, so I am the taxi cab. I really like those. They're cork letters, but not enough to spell out what I wanted to write. Got my little handy T-square back out. This worked out really nice for the letters, lining them up. And I'm spelling the word annual. You'll see here I forgot a kind of important vowel in that word. So it says anal. Anal. Yeah, I fix it eventually. Just takes me a while to realize it. And yeah, it's my favorite annual photo shoot. In the close-ups at the end, you'll see that I do have it spelled correctly. And I didn't have quite enough O's to do all this uppercase or all lowercase O's, so I did mix in a couple uppercase O's, but it's okay. And then I just used a chocolate brown Staedtler pen and just wrote how every fall I drag the girls out to do a photo shoot, and most of the time, as they're getting older, they drag their feet and they don't want to come with me, but we usually end up having some pretty good laughs. They couldn't get over their face in these pictures. And my middle daughter, when she jumped, the strings of her hooded sweatshirt went right in her, like they were coming out of her nose, it looked like. It was really funny. Anyway, so I didn't realize there was still some water on my paper, or on my table. So I ended up mucking up that top corner, so I decided to make it look intentional. And I kind of roughed up the edges with some Stampin' Up! Ink, what are they called? Ink pads to give it a little roughed up look. Stamping spots, that's what they're called. So there's the sketch again. Thanks for watching. Bye.